This is 9.2, number 15, and it wants us to solve using the substitution method. Okay, so with the substitution method, remember you're looking for a single variable that you want it like A equals something or B equals something, and we have that here. We have A equal 3/5 B. Now it's a fraction, so it may be scary, but you know it's still fine. We can still use it. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take that, since that's what I'm going to use. This is telling me A is the same thing as 3/5 B. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here in this the other equation, and everywhere I see this A, I'm going to replace it with this 3/5 B. I'm going to put that in there. So let's go do that. So 2A, the first equation was 2A minus B. You'll always use the other equation. If you're using 1 to figure your variable out that you're going to plug in, you put it in the other equation, okay? So we have 2A minus B is 1, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in this 3/5 B, because A is the same thing as 3/5 B. Alright, so I'm going to have to multiply, to simplify I'm going to have to multiply 2 times 3/5, so let me make it into 2 over 1. 2 times 3 is 6, and 1 times 5 is 5B, and then we have minus B equal 1. Okay, so we're going to have to get a common denominator. You may be able to do that without getting one, but if you need to, we could write, remember this is a 1B here. So if I get a common denominator, I could say this is 6 over 5B. I could write 1 as 5 over 5B equal 1. So remember when you're subtracting like terms, you write the like term down, and I would say, well, what's 6/5 minus 5 over 5/5? 6 over 5 minus 5 over 5. We subtract across the top. 6 minus 5 is 1. And then you keep your common denominator, which is 5. So this is equal to 1. Okay. Now I got to solve for B. So what I could do is I could multiply by the reciprocal on both sides, which would be 5 over 1, or just 5 is what I'll write over here. So now I have B equal 5. So now let's see, on my point, I know that the A will come first and the B will come second because it goes in alphabetical order for our variables. So B is 5, and now I need to find A. Well, the easiest way to find A is to go back up here, because we know that A is equal to 3/5 B. So if you always go back to where you did your substitution, that's the easiest spot to plug stuff in. And we found out down here that B was 5. So I'm just plugging it in here, right? So if you notice, if I multiply that together, I could put this over 1. The 5s would cancel out, and so A is equal to 3. So now we have our point. It's the point 3/5. So even though it had that fraction in there, again, fractions are never going to go away. They're always going to be there in problems, and increasingly more as you move up through high school. So you just have to remember how to deal with fractions from your, elementary school years. And that's it.